Okay, hi, welcome. Assalamu alaikum and good evening or good afternoon, depends upon your time zone. So thank you so much once again for tuning in the Q&A session. Sorry about it. Okay, yeah. So we'll start today with the Q&A session. As I mentioned today, we have a very, very important and very relevant question. Some of the points, in fact, actually I missed out. I think many people asked me that question. That's great. Okay, so there are many added points and new points, relevant point, an important question. I'm glad and very happy that is, all of you are giving up a lot of importance for the, to understand more about the online businesses, etc. So we have a fantastic question. So we'll take that question as usual. Then we have a time left out. We'll take the questions from the live chat as well. Okay, so get settled in. So we'll go. The problem with all of you because the question answer session, only the questions are in the PowerPoint. The answers are not there. So I would like you to pay attention and take a notes if you wish to. Okay, so officially welcome again. Today, 39th day of 100 Days Digital Mastery Challenge. Today, August 20th, 2020, Thursday. I'm from Doha, live from Doha in Qatar. Now, the first question today, we'll start with Mrs. Felician. I'm sorry if I'm wrongly pronouncing, from Rwanda, the professional. After set up an affiliate store, is it possible to get investment with higher amount by giving only 50% of share? Okay, this is a good relevant question, which is most of you will have a question actually. Can I get investors? My answer is you approach. Approach means you need to have a vision plan document. You should have a business plan document. You should have a pitch deck. With this thing, you can go to any of the platform which I mentioned to raise a capital. So you can use that, or you can go for a crowdfunding platform, or you can go to the Angel Fund Association. You go to venture capitalist. All the options are friends and relatives and incubation centers. All these methods you try, definitely people are there. That's what I believe. Because most of the people in this world, all the businesses in the world, majority of the business in the world is funded by someone else. That means investors are there. Especially in the COVID-19 situation, many people don't have so many opportunity to invest. Okay, so I believe if you start talking to the people, communicating to the people, you will get investment. That's what I personally believe. So I think it was when I listed out yesterday when we were looking at the Q&A. So which are the things? I think around 18 different methods I spoke to you to raise a funding. So all the 18 methods, even you try with maybe a sample of 5 each. So approximately 100 methods you're trying. So for example, 5 each means you go to 5 crowdfunding platforms. You go to 5 angel fund associations. Or you go to 5 people you're knowing, the different people looking for investment opportunity. All this like you do. So yeah, approximately around 90-95 people you are actually approaching. You get one. That's sure. So one is that one. Second option, you don't have to give out a 50%. 50% is very, very high. Even in the beginning stage, I recommend 20 or a 30% I think you go to raise a capital, because you're working hard, you are taking a risk, and you need to get to reward it. So initial stage, just for a capital, don't have to share 50%. According to me, if you're affiliate website, 25%, 30% is more than enough. Now, if you specifically want to try out a method, which a method I told you about, convertible notes with an affiliate program, or you can go with creating attraction and raise a capital. All those methods I strongly recommend for you to find an investment. In all the cases, don't have to give a 50%. That's my personal opinion. But if an investor demand and so many things, and you feel it is good for you, it's up to you. It's your business. Okay, but 50% is very, very high. So an investor, you give a 20, 25, 30%. Plus, now, if you wish to, another 2 methods you can think about. One is actually flipping, which we discussed. Another important thing is if you part of the 100 Days of Challenge program and you're planning to be a part of our championship program, so then there is an investors meet. Where in the investors meet, we are promoting actually the newly started affiliate website, other things. So people investing, I'm not talking about a large investment, maybe $5,000, $10,000 range. Plus, of course, online shopping model have much larger investment. So this range also you can raise a capital. So yes, answer is yes, you can do, but 50% is quite high for you get in and try all this method. When you say try all the method, you don't lose anything. Your one document is enough, one vision document, one business plan document, And one pitch deck is enough for you to approach all the 96. And thanks to the technology, all the people you have to reach, either you have to go to their platform and upload, or you send an email, or approach them through an application form. Like if you are going for incubation centers, it will be an application process. So all the three things you can choose and be part of that. Okay. I believe I have answered your question. Please ask me if you have a counter question. Again, is there in the chat? Oh, you have one more question? Okay. Actually, I'm planning for e-commerce business by collecting investments. So setting up an affiliate store, how much will be helpful for me? Is it possible shifting affiliate store to e-commerce? So, here, to answer this more precisely, when you look at the method which I told you about, one of the investors invest the money once they understand the opportunity. Plus, they wanted to see a real one thing. That's the reason I recommended the traction. So traction is a very, very important step. Which, I keep telling traction, because that's what exactly an investor get a final confidence. Now, another thing which I told you about the prototype, like traditionally investors usually are coming out with something new. Can you make a prototype? That's the way they check with you. Your idea can be, realistic. An idea can be viable. Idea can be brought to the real world. So that's the reason they'll ask you about the prototype or a preliminary research, something, a model to show. So in that case, actually, if you're planning to start an e-commerce business, I agree that initially, without much investment, if you go for an e-commerce to start with, you will have to invest a lot on other company, corporation, products, stocks, garage, all the things. So better you can start an affiliate website, same niche which you're planning to start, and show them, this is what I'm doing in affiliate. I'm starting looking at the market and how it is responding, and create a traction there as well. And create a good leads you share it. And genuinely you try. It's not just for attracting investors. You genuinely try yourself for 3 months' time with your affiliate platform. Then you can go to an investor and talk to them about collecting money and funding the money to your business. Now, can I upgrade the affiliate to e-commerce? Yes, there's an additional module you can actually buy and do it, but actually for affiliate platform is more tuning to affiliate platform, an affiliate program. You wanted to have a more into an e-commerce, this e-commerce platform is better. But if you want to do like affiliate and e-commerce together, then you can actually add an e-commerce module and you can run a e-commerce as well. But it's slightly expensive compared to you independently buying an e-commerce platform, because it's a hybrid it comes in. So it's better to have a separate one as well, but it's up to you. But you have like a Jabong, like a model, you want to run that strategy, you wanted to use it, absolutely, this is good. Okay, you can actually do that as well. Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry, I wrongly pronounced your name. Okay. Miss Mavithe from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, as a professional, is it possible to sell only website without giving the brand name? Answer is yes, but when you give out the website, and your brand and domain is closely connected, right? So when you give out the website, you give it a domain name. Now, if you protected a brand, you wanted to use a brand, you can always tell them you can use a domain, but you cannot use a brand. But the buyer, you'll not be happy about, you are not giving a brand. You same brand, you're using a domain. But if you're using a different brand and different domain, just example is, taken a Rocket International, okay, or a Rocket Internet. That's a company name, but the website name is Jabong. So like that, in that case, Rocket Internet, you don't have to give it out. You can give out Jabong. That is possible, but in that case. But otherwise, your brand name is the same. Like Amazon is your brand name. Amazon.com is your domain name. Buyer definitely want that. Yes or no? So you think about you as a buyer. You wanted the domain and the same brand you'd like to have. So in that case, you need to give them the brand as well. But in the case you planned it such a way, your website name is different. Like Alphabet is a company name, Google is a website name, right? YouTube is another name. So the YouTube is selling out, they don't have to change the Alphabet as a brand. So that way you can also have a company name is different and website is different. Now you only give out the website, company you're not giving. But your website is the brand itself, you need to give both. There's no other option, right? So usually the buyer will ask you the same thing, right? Yeah. Mr. Sharad Thomas from Ireland, why there is a cap on convertible notes? Okay, very good question, actually. It's a very important question. I'm glad that you asked. I believe I just mentioned, but it's not given a lot of stress when I spoke about the convertible notes, why there is a cap. Now, the importance of that is, please understand, so when you give out the convertible notes, so basically you're not valued the company. Because the purpose of the convertible notes is you're giving them early stage, you're not valuing the company. Very early stage, you're giving a kind of an assurance that is you can invest the invested money, you will get back. In fact, you get with more value. So in even convertible notes, even you can agree. One of the strategy which I explained to you, even the second month or after 18 months, you can actually start paying them back the money which they paid plus the stake of the company, which is one of the things investors will be very happy and they will feel safe. Even your company's valuation is different, all the things. Now, you're specifically answering to Mr. Sharad's question is, why are convertible notes, with a cap, we kept it as. Now, if I invest in your business and you're giving to me a convertible note, now let's say I paid you $10,000 and you promised me 10% of the company, I'll give you an equity, so 10%. Then tomorrow your company valued for $1 million. So basically, I'm not getting 10%, that value of that one. To put a cap, otherwise I'll not get a value. So hope you're getting this point. That's the reason they put it as there's a cap when you're issuing it as the maximum value of this one or this much I'll give you. So this has to be given a guarantee to the people who are investing with the convertible notes. That's a protection of the investors. So that's the reason. Very easily to raise a capital with the convertible notes in a very early stage, especially from angel funders or from even the friends and families or from an acquaintance who's an investor, who's interested. Even the investors meet, you talk about the convertible notes. I'm the so-and-so stage, I'll give you convertible notes and this much is you secured. Even I pay you back your money over a period of time. Paying back from the company is based on a cash flow. 18 months to 36 months, I'll complete the payment. Every month I'll give you, or maybe 18 months to 30th month. In 12 months, every month I'll pay you back the money you invested. Plus I'll give you this much as a stake in the company and the dividend, all the things come with that. So that's the reason convertible is very good, and put a cap for them to have the protection of that feeling of the value to get it. So that's the reason there is a cap should do, but sometimes you valued very high tomorrow, so he'll be a loser. So to avoid that, there should be a cap. We have to put it on a valuation of the company. I believe it's you got the idea why the cap is required. Now, Mr. Mahdi Sam from Algeria is a professional. Assalamu alaikum, Shan. Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you for all your business ideas and giving a conference to us for starting a business. I could see so many companies start up using a crowdfunding for their businesses. So going for a funding like this is better before set up store or after we set up store. Okay, so if you're, I'm glad that you're getting confidence to start. Now, if there's a initial startup funding is an issue, what I would recommend, as I mentioned, one of the, of course, the crowdfunding platform. The crowdfunding platform from which just your idea can be raised the money. No doubt. But everything can be faster, easier, more when you increase the quantity of the money you raise once you have something called prototype or attraction. So here in this case, which I strongly recommend, set up a website, make something ready, then you show that you have some kind of attraction, some kind of a result is happening. Then go to crowdfunding and say that I wanted to do expansion of this one or something like that. So you need to go for a campaign that way. That's better. Or even you don't want to go, still you need to go and do a kind of a business plan documentation, all the thing, you can go and do it. But it's always better to start some kind of a website or something that then start off all the activities. Okay. Yeah. Now, next question is Miss Anne-Marie from Qatar, professional. Okay, how many websites I can add into ADM website for living? Is there any limit? At the moment, you can add many number of websites, and there is no limit, and there is no cost. Also, you have to pay in advance. Now, you don't have to pay any money so far. Now, I think after some time we'll charge. At the moment, it's a free, so you can add any number of websites. I think now we have an option. Even before you host your website, you can have. I hope you know that one. Before even how do I say? no, you are just only planning some website. You just register a domain, or that's the case. Also, we'll allowing you to put it that one. Then later you can host a website. It's absolutely free. You can have unlimited. Only there's a verification process. We look at is basically tomorrow some buyer comes in, he should feel it's a good product. So that's the reason we do some kind of a verification to make sure our quality part. Then you can have it there. No limit. You can have unlimited and no payment. And once a business happens, so someone buy from our ADM website, flipping the website. After you receive that payment, or sometimes through passing through us, you need to pay us 20% as a transaction fee. That's only fee you have to pay after you sold your website. Okay, it's not before getting it. So absolutely free. Once you receive the payment, you can do that. Okay. Miss Emily from Leeds, UK. Could you explain what is SAFE? Okay. SAFE, the SAFE stands for Simple Agreement for Future Equities. It's basically before the company valuing, you're giving an assurance called SAFE. Okay. So especially now, the previous question they asked, the question asked is basically convertible notes. So when you're taking a convertible notes, actually you can also give a SAFE word. Or even without that, it's as well, somebody's investing with you, you give them a SAFE, I'll give you SAFE when we go for evaluation. This much we will give you guarantee of your stake. So even tomorrow, your company going for a public, or your company going for, not only IPO, you might go for a raise or other couple of round of raising a capital, or you're going for a venture funding, or any other method, you are making more money. So you're protecting the person who's paying in advance the money to the organization. You're protecting them with a SAFE. Okay, so this is a very new method, and I believe it's a very good method because, to be honest, we don't have to value the company. That's the time. That's one of the most difficult part. Second one is the investor feel kind of a SAFE. Like a name it's they have a value for that company. This much. As soon as company does that, they get that one. So it's called SAFE. I think I pretty much have elaborated way I covered with a PowerPoint in that same day. You just go through, and also give you a lot of companies are nowadays using SAFE, especially the startups are using a SAFE. It's a good method to have it as a SAFE. Okay. Next question, Ms. Farheen from Dubai, UAE. Which is the best platform to flip my website? I don't want to go through heavy steps. Most of the platform has a very simple steps, not a very big task like any other company is doing. So platform, it's a completely depends upon your business, your website. As I mentioned, it is a startup website or an initial stage of website, just a template-based website, or just starting a website. Then, of course, the flippa.com is the best. Now you establish the site, as I told you in a 3 strategy, just a medium. That one. That was you started a website 0 to 1 year. It's a flipper. 1 to 3 years. In general, there are exceptions. 1 to 2, 3 years, basically like Empire Flippers, like a website is best. Or ADM website flipping is also. We are putting it like similar to Empire Flippers is the thing which you're covering. Then you really good, doing good. Fantastic. Then FE International is the place you should go and sell it. Okay, but you can Google it. There are hundreds and thousands of website flipping platforms you can do, and you can also see how it works on the steps, and I'll very easily mention that. Not have a much issue on that. It's just steps to complete on. Okay. Even my presentation is include the steps you going and registering in flippa.com, Empire Flippers, and all the companies. So you already have the steps in place. Okay. Now, Ms. Catherine Pella, USA, professional. Is there any time period in ADM website flipping process, or we need to upgrade it, or one-time process? Please explain. Okay. If there is no time period for flipping at the moment, anytime flipping can be done. And do we need any upgrade it? Actually, no, it's a free. It's absolutely free. There is no charges. You have to pay in advance. But when the transaction happens, if we sell your website to, something like that, you say like a brokerage, something like a commission. Once the lead happens, you have to pay us 20%. That's one thing. Okay. For one-time process, it's a one-time process. Yeah, you don't have to upgrade it. So once you put it, it's easy for you to understand that. Okay. Now, Ms. Shweta Shetty from India, professional. Is there any legal process for flipping? Legal process, there are companies go through legal process. You go through an agreement and do a transaction part. There is something called escrow. That's what we are using. Something called escrow. Either we are doing manually, internally, we know. Otherwise, escrow. What is escrow? Escrow is an account. As a buyer, transfer the money and keep it. Then seller initiate the process of transferring your website or mobile application, whatever you're selling. Once the transfer complete, then you receive the escrow amount. So escrow is basically kept that way. So you can take an escrow account, and that's one of the best methods. You can take an escrow, you go to escrow.com and get an escrow, put it and open it. You can go that method as well. Okay. So there is no no other legal complications. Basically, you're buying from one thing from someone. That's it. Okay. Miss Lara Thomas from USA. What are the things to consider while buying a website? You mean to say directly buying or from flipping, from the flipping website? Flipping website, the first thing is actually you look at the traction. Is the business already making money or not? That's the first thing. And then they will, usually all the website is mentioned the niche potential. You check that niche potential is there or not. That's another important part. Based on niche potential, you can take a decision. And overall, the performance of the website, every aspect you can check. And definitely one of the things, most of the website gives you something called interview of the founder or the owner of the website. Your owner will be talking. There's a video why she or he will be selling. So listen to them and understand what exactly it is. Then you take a decision on it. I believe I answered this question. I think that's what you meant the question as well. Okay. Mr. Anil Kumar from Ireland is a professional. I'm an e-commerce starter. Which funding will be suitable for me? So if you are a startup and in e-commerce, major portion of which you discussed about angel funding is the most easy, common. Of course, you can go for a co-founder, and you really wanted to have a co-founder. If you in e-commerce, you check with your incubation centers near to you. Anyway, you need an office, all the things. So incubation centers is one of the places, or a government grants is also, I don't know, it depends upon what their offer. Or you can also go and participate in investors meet, or go to the platforms, various website platform which I give you, where you can raise a capital. So that also is one of the options. Okay. Miss Haisha Hansib. What are things to be considered to get maximum value for our website? At this point, we discussed in a 3-way. One of the strategies also based on this one to increase everything. I forgot the strategy number. Strategies which I give you is if it is affiliate website, how to increase the value. Go back to the ADM website flipping session. Sorry, website flipping session. I think last Saturday. You go and look at the strategies which you explained Saturday and Sunday. It's mentioned it is. So it's increase the value. The overall in general rule, you make a good profit, the value will increase. So good profit, good traction. One is a cash flow, one is a profit. These two things are good, then it increases the value. In addition to that, you wanted to have a more, more value to add it is, as I mentioned, that adding a product, adding a social media, and increasing the social media thing and email marketing, and increasing the developing list, and increasing the merchants of CPM, CPC, CPL, all the things is actually we can add here and do it. Okay, yeah. Next is Miss Fahmida from India. It's a commerce graduate. What will the renewal expenditure included in next year for the OSM e-commerce website, and is there any additional expenditure in the same after purchasing the OSM niche? Okay, it's a good question. It's an OSM detailed session. We are coming on 29th of this month. Please, I request you to attend. But to answer this question is, it's a OSM e-commerce niche. If you do a certain transaction, there's some business happening through your independent website or through your niche store already happening. So a certain amount of transaction happening, you don't have any charges additional for next year. That amount depends upon the niche. Some niche has a good price, higher price volume, so that's a different, and a good EBITDA margin. It's a completely what is the potential of the niche and margin. So there is no. But next year, so then we will take care. In that case, we will take care of the domain and the everything. Now, if you have a store where you don't have any sales is happening, it's you have not much activities happening, so there is a percentage of charges, or there will be a minimum charges will be there for your domain to renew, your support to renew, and there are various tools we use, all the tools to be renewed. So that is that will be the charges. Okay, that is depends. When again niche based, it might change. And most of the cases, if you're doing a business, you don't have to pay. The idea is actually we will take care of if you have a business. So all about is generating a business. But otherwise, there will be these costs will be there applicable for every year for a domain and your cloud hosting and the CRM tools. And depends on the tools you're choosing. You take more tools, you'll have more money to renew. Some of the things are optional. Some of the things by default we will give you. And so most of the thing you opt to do, let various plugins you add, and everything will have a cost. Some cases we will even allow you to pay directly. Some cases we'll be paying, so that we'll collect from you and pay. Or because basically remember that in online shopping mall, one of the major thing is, which is basically we're talking about what that word we use, collective bargaining. So if you buy an e-commerce one tool yourself, they give you one price. But we are talking about a 7,000 store, so we get a definitely price advantage. So in that case, that tool price we will be paying, so which will be billed to you. So that's a method on it. Okay, so please don't worry. All the thing we will explain to you on 29th in detail. Will be there 29th and 30th also maybe. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Shihab from India, student. Question about crypto mining. How it is mining? From where the source of money, and what is airdrop? Okay, these are multiple questions, and which is near to the completely mostly about the mining part which you have taken. As I mentioned in that particular training itself, about a blockchain and a crypto, there is a separate session is coming in. So you have a complete details from there. In that you can have. Now, if you don't have a what do you call for that? Now, if you don't have a much on much idea about mining, I just give you a kind of a few things for your understanding on it. Now, if you attended the session, you might have noticed I mentioned there's something called a validation, and someone to validate the transaction. So for the validation of the transaction, there is a reward. And so this methods actually people are doing actually various two kinds of mining, POW and POIs. So both cases there is a different kind of reward people will receive it as. So this is called a mining activity in common layman language. Okay, if I simplify this one. Okay, there are a few other aspects, but in detail we discuss about when we discuss about the blockchain part. And that's the source of the money is basically crypto itself is a money. So they create a value. So for that purpose, you need to generate income. For example, now, how do we say? Now let's look at the Bitcoin. When you started, there was not much value, right? And when just $100 people's $100 worth of Bitcoin, then those days $100 worth of today will be around more than $1 million. So it is based on a value. Like why US dollars has a more value? Because US dollar, more people want it. The demand is right. So similarly, here is a demand is created. That's the reason the value goes up, and that's what exactly. It's not dependent on another source of another places. They're not creating. That itself is a currency, like every US dollar or a Qatari riyal or a UAE dirham or a Indian rupees or or a pound. All the things, especially so an independent currency. Same way, it's also an independent currency. It is not a source. It's a value. Mr. Gary, I hope you get it right. And what is the airdrop? Okay, airdrop is also mentioned. It is actually we'll have again the session on this, but in a brief to understand. So the airdrop is nothing but, as the name indicating, coming to the people, almost a free of cost. I use the word is almost. certain few activity you do, they'll pay you money free. It's a free money. It's like a name indicate airdrops that somebody drop you from there the money to you. Okay, which is basically any currency this initially someone used, they have to have value. So value, they have to use it. Then only usage comes, only that's the value comes around. So initially, the people to use the currencies, they started giving to the people. So if you wanted to use, if you are familiar and start using on the crypto, you need to have that one. So why should you take, you have 30,000-40,000 cryptos now in the market. So why should you take a pain of another one unless you get some benefit, right? So this companies give you you just join our social media group, we'll pay you $100, $1,000 worth airdrops. It's a fee, which you can again exchange, maybe purchase, maybe even Expedia access, Amazon access. So even you can buy most of the things in the world now through cryptocurrency transaction. You can buy that product. So you get airdrops. Basically, it's against the payment. I mean, the activity you do, you get the bill on that. Okay. Yeah. Now, I believe your answer. I know it's a very difficult to answer and to make you understand as well. Within 3-4 minutes, the time which I'm using for one answer, 3 minutes average, we kept it. I know it's a bit difficult for you to have it, but please do attend the program of the blockchain next month. So we'll have completed, or you go back to the affiliate mining session which we had 2 weeks ago. Please go through that one. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Shia. Mr. Amjad Ali A from India. Is there any standard criteria for preparing a business document? Yes, there are standard criteria, there are format, and there are certain things people expect. Like I mentioned yesterday, all the major points. Every investor, every business owner, every entrepreneur usually expect them to have that in the way. Some cases, they have a lot of additional things they may do. It's not necessary, but what I mentioned yesterday, it's a minimum thing people do expect to be part of their business plan document. So yesterday, the template you can take, the PowerPoint, which I give you an examples, you can use it. Or go to bplans.com. There's a lot of templates that also you can use. Depends upon what kind of business you are in, you can prepare that one. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for asking this question. Okay. Now, Mr. Mohammed Hasnain from Pakistan, it's a business owner. How to do this online business? This exactly is a good question. There's so many days we had a lot of sessions, right? So basically, every time when any business idea comes in, the three things I talk about: technology, organization, and strategy. That's right. That's it. Okay. That's a one sentence answer. So if you want to understand more about, go back to our recordings and listen to that, or talk to your mentor, talk to our IBC, or download the notes and start off. Okay. That's it. Okay. The next question is Mr. Sanil. So if you said about some plan to get investors for the OSM niche store using promissory notes, how could we convince them? Is this I do alone, or ADM will help to find the investors? And if you find someone, what will be the legal procedures? Do I get guidance from ADM? Okay. Sanil, it's a series of questions, one by one to answer. So if you would like some plan to get investors for the OSM. So third strategy, which I discussed with you on the second day of the investors, that I think that's one you're referring to. I did not use the word promissory notes. The promissory notes and convertible notes are different. Promissory notes are you're promising to pay to someone the money you're taking, or maybe exchange your service, whatever it is. Most of the time you're taking the money, you're giving them a promissory note with maybe a stamp or etc. The promissory notes and convertible notes are completely different. Promissory notes, you're guaranteeing him to pay him back the money. Even your business collapse, you have to pay. You're liable to pay. That's more into a personal. One is a promissory note. It's your personal reference. Okay. Convertible notes from your company. Convertible notes, they can convert that to your equity of the company. They can actually get a share of your company. That's a major thing. Now, in that, you also give him the payback. You say that the capital can be withdrawn based on our company's cash flow for next 12 months. Not the first 12 months. I don't recommend first 12 months. In fact, I recommended 18 months to 12 months. That is actually the ideal one. Why 18 months? Usually in the any businesses, there's a curve. That's actually 18 months. You can see majority of the business get closed in the first 18 months, because that's the time they actually like really putting on a track. So 18 months is the time you need a lot of capital. Cash flow much will not be there. You are working more into generating income. That's the time, so paying back will be difficult. So that's the reason. In general, you after 18th, 19th month onwards, you start pay. By 30th, you pay him back entire money based on the money you're taking. If you have a capital is more, then I recommend it to not 12 months. You can have 36 months. You can have a 50 months to pay. 50 installment, 45 installment you can pay. I recommend it only 12 months because you are just taking approximately around 7,000. I think it's $4,500 or $5,500. That's much only. So now that money in a monthly basis you can go. Sorry, not even that. It's around $2,000 because I recommend it even now you're buying, right? So in that case, once you have an 18 months over, every month you can actually pay back from $500 to $1,000, and he get back and there is $5,000 or $10,000. He paid for start of the business. Then still he'll have an equity in the company. He can enjoy that as well. So it's usually people appreciate, and it's a win-win situation both for investors and for you, because you get money now and you're not paying now. You're putting it in the safe, and you're putting it as a convertible note with safe you can do, and you can you are paying back possibly based on a cash flow. You're not promising like a promissory note. If based on my company's cash flow, my company get a $10,000 cash flow in a particular month, I'll pay you your $1,000 per month. If it is only coming less, then I'll pay you 500. So that proportionally, say if I get a cash flow this much, you'll be able to tell them. Okay, then I give you this much money. So that's the way it is. Convertible notes with the payback. Promissory note, no. You ask me, can I give a promissory note? My answer is no, because when you start a business, you never know what is going to happen. So it'll be from your side, instead of giving a promissory note, it's up to you. If you're pretty confident and you can handle, you don't want to give a stake, then promissory note. If you ask me, I'll be telling them I'll give you convertible notes. I don't mind losing a good stake of the company, but someone share with the risk with me. So that's my attitude, my way of looking at it. Okay. So if you are sharing a risk with me, I'm sharing a profit with you. Okay, that's the point. So, and I don't mind you're sharing our profit. Okay. So now you don't want to give out a company stake. You want to take the risk of that one. Of course, then you will save a lot of company stakes. You only give him a promissory note, and whatever you bought based on a promissory note, you pay him that. That's it. So this is what exactly promissory note and convertible notes, the difference. How could we convince them? Okay, so here is actually the problem is a communication. So you need to go to the investor's point of view. This is when exactly you need to look into around the world. So now if you ask me, one of the weakness of mine is I cannot understand an employee thinking. That's one of my weakness. My thinking always an entrepreneurial thinking. Even of course, investors' point also I have less thinking. My thinking always entrepreneurial. So for example, if I say something, if you do like this, and I'm expecting the employees to do. I'm not expecting, he's expecting in a spoon feeding. So many of the employees actually expect that is, you didn't give me to do that one. So then I say, you don't ask me. Okay. So that is actually one of my weaknesses. So now I say to the people, I'm mostly entrepreneurial. So now if I'll understand entrepreneurs more, and entrepreneurs understand more. So when I look, the people who are comfortable around me is always entrepreneurs. They are the people more, entrepreneurial people are more comfortable with me. Now go to the investors part. Investors is basically looking for to invest money and gaining profit. So they have a different outlook. Their thought is different. And they always look to maximizing profit and utilizing us to gain profit. So they're looking at us actually our capabilities, our strength, our skills, and the kinds of risk we can take it, and the kinds of energy and drive we have, the kind of vision we have, the high ambition we have, and the credibility, the characters, and all the putting to the organizing capacity, and how much the money I can make it out. So this is what is exactly an investor look into. So that we need to see. Okay, so investors are looking to make money. Now, when you go to the employee aspect, when you here is look at it, so they look at completely different. So we are ready to do work, we get it. So I'm spending the time, whether things work or not, I need to get paid. So that's that's one of the places people has always a debate there. That is, when you did not work, sir, I was here. So that will be the answer. So I was here available. Even I don't work, I need money. Okay, even though I don't complete, I need money. So this is an issue. So this is the way that all the 3-4 categories, and employees, employer, and self-employed. So all the things I have been talking earlier. So we'll come back again later on that. So that is actually attitudinal different. And there are very smart people. There are wonderful professionals who are also investors. They are also an entrepreneur. They're amazing. That's one of the good thing. You can see so many people, different companies. They're in a very high position. They earn money, and they part-time they run a business, and they also invested in multiple businesses. Smart people. Okay, so that's a real balanced one. So if you ask me, I'm not good at that. I'm good at entrepreneurs and investors. Entrepreneurs, I'm very comfortable. I felt most of the time those who are associated with me as more entrepreneurs. If I go back and think about who's having a problem with me, most of the time employees. Okay, then it's investors. My point is investors, yeah, you're sharing a risk with me. You have to lose the money. You have to lose the money. That's it. So I'm more an entrepreneurial guy. I'm more take a risk, and I'm taking a risk. Risk means sometimes you will have a loss. That's one of my attitude. So now you come to here, employees part is, so you think about here is when you getting convincing them. So with whom you're talking to, employee you're talking to, invest money, definitely may not be happening. But an employee with that attitude, which I told you about, is a professional, he knows in investment. Most of the employees invest. I'll come to that point. And entrepreneurs also invest. Entrepreneurs also partner with you. Investors also do that. Now, then you have to understand the convincing part. Now, just think about, I have a money. Now, when I have a money, what option I have? Now, if I have money, you think about you think I have $2 million, $10 million, $100 million. If I had, what I do, what are the things I can do? I can, I put in so much different kinds of investment I do. But the rich people, the people who are money-minded people, or those who are already got money, they don't invest in one place. They do multiple places. They'll have a real estate. They'll also invested in the shares. They also have a stock. They have a gold. They have a properties, and they're interested in mutual fund. They are also interested in a property they bought and give for a rental. They also might invest in a farmhouse. So they have multiple portfolio, right? It's called portfolio. They're investing in money in different places. Now, when you look into the tech company, they invest because they know the high return on investment. All the tech companies give a very return of high return on investment. One more point. Now, most of the people say, now, you will, if you have money, you will go to the bank and deposit the money, FD, or other things. When the return on investment where they're getting is compared to the inflation rate of that company and interest rate, basically they're not making money. They're making a 2-3% loss. I don't know, you realize this point. So people say, I put in the money, I take an interest from the bank, and you look at the inflation of that country, most of the time they're not really making money. And which the people who have money, they'll understand. So here you need to talk to an opportunity. You need to communicate to the investor. They understand. This we see understand. And the people who are scared of the money and in losing money, they say, I put in the bank, I can be more safer. But not necessarily safe, because many banks will disappear or something. Plus, inflation is high. So they don't know. For example, you have inflation is, it's 8%, 9%, 10% inflation in different countries. There are 20-30% inflation countries also there. So if it is a 10% itself, you think about, you have 100,000 Qatar Riyal this time. Next year, it only has a value 90,000. So that's why you're reducing it. So the people who are keeping money with them, basically losing money, not only gaining money. That one. And plus, the people who have less than employees, those who make money, they know how hardworking to get money. Now, instead of them working, they want to work in money to work for them. So they also have an outlook on that one. Okay, so these are the things. you need to understand how the world works. That's the reason I want you to think about. So convincing, next part. Now they're actually, most of the investors are already convinced for investment. Okay, but to invest with you, that's a question. To invest in your business, that's a question. So that's the reason you need a vision plan, business plan document, and you have a pitch deck as well. The business, the investor should take a decision like any other decision. So first of all, if he has the money, he'll invest. For example, even if he has money, one of the mistake I had done is, and now I came to know that is the potential investor who said, I'll talk to you next month, and then we can finalize it. Then suddenly I came to know that next week he's going for a vacation. He's going for a cruise trip around 3 to 4 weeks. Then everything get late. I insisted to have a presentation and meeting before he's going for his vacation. So, because I don't want to get late, because he said, okay, next meeting we'll finalize. And to meet and do. So that was a very bad meeting, because he's a completely in a kind of a vacation anxiety or vacation happiness. I don't know what you call is there, and everything he's talking about. His people around us also is talking about. I met him in the wrong time, and he said no because of that. I don't think so, because he not even put an effort. Was not so interesting. That time he said, I look into, because they don't want to have an investment. So the time you're meeting, the person you're meeting, the way you present, the way they see opportunities and their skills and your relationship, all the things are matter for you to get a payment or you get an investor. But my experience has been, I told you about, 20 to 30 people you speak to them, you get a 1 or 2. Many people say 5%, means you speak to 100 people, you get a 5 people to investor, then you choose 1 or 2. My experience is around 20 to 30 itself, you get an investment if you really put it effort. 20 to 30 quality people I'm talking about, who can invest money, has money to invest, capable to invest. I'm not talking about you're trying with someone who does not have money. No, okay, who's having money. So that's one is exactly. Now, if you don't know anyone around you, then go to crowdfunding platform or the platform which I give you for funding, all the stuff you can go through, or you go to government grants, or go to incubation centers. All the things is that you get it. So all the places also, and of course you go to incubation centers, they're not giving you money, they're giving you facilities to everything to do. Still, you need to convince them, right, for your project. So now many people get disappointed the investors are not funding. You don't get disappointed. Most of the time investors are not funding because they're feeling a business not viable. It may be one of the reasons. Maybe really will not be viable. But there are a lot of exceptions who are not investing money. Like an example I told you, Byju's app. The Byju's app, many people did not fund it. So, but it, how big is the business now? Facebook, another example. People are not ready to fund it. But what's the situation now? Google struggled. They went to Yahoo to buy out. Please buy us, because they don't have money. But all the things that turn to be different companies, right? So investors also do the mistakes. Okay, so you take it as a challenge. Sometimes investors did not fund to you. Take it as a challenge. You don't want an investor. Without an investor, you can start doing in the business. It's also an option. Okay, so yeah. So it's a convincing is approximately this 3 document you have it. You really did it. In addition to that, sometimes people ask you a feasibility study, and for our online business, you don't have to do a very detailed feasibility study, but other businesses definitely required. Then if you go to the people, definitely they fund. That's just my experience been, and that's what exactly. Why do you think all the people are getting money? Where do they get money to start? How do the investors are there in the market? You get money. So don't worry, but you have to try. You have to set up. So all the things which I'm talking about, traction, setting up initial websites, all the things become important for you to arrange it. If you go with just a paper, some people invest, you may not necessarily get it. You increase the possibility of you're getting funded by having a traction. Traction is a good point for you to get it. That's what I personally believe, because you're already making money, so that they believe. So make a traction and do it. Okay. He says, I do alone, or ADM will help you to find the investors. And if you find someone, what will be the legal procedures? Okay. He says, do alone. You can do alone. You can do with your team. You can ask your team to help you, or like ABCs. ADM will do, but ADM will also charge you for it. But actually, one of the things we tell you now, you part of our championship, you can be our investors meet. That's one of the things doing, and we have a charge for it. We charge around 8 to 10% of the investment you're getting. So sometime we'll take a stake from you, or we'll ask you the percentage of the money you're getting to pay us. So we can do that for you. But everything is ready. That's one of the things which I spoke to you. One, immediately after 100 days of program, there's a 30 days we are doing a championship. And after that, or maybe during end of that, we are planning to have one investors meet where you can present the businesses and you get a chance. And we also charge for what you're getting on it. So there are different percentage in different parts of the world. Some people, depends on if you are doing a large amount, because I'm looking for the people invest 10,000 to 100,000 range. So that's the reason 7%. You are looking for a 1 million. Okay, of course, we'll be flexible on it, coming down to 4 or 5%. So it depends upon how much is the revenue you're going to, or how much is the capital you are going to raise. Or you ask any of the consultants to do that for you. That's also an option. Or it's better to go online and you do self. Why should you pay to other person 7 to 10%? When you're going through 100 days of program, all the details you already have, and you get the support as well, right? So please consider that way. Okay. So legal procedure, like any other company, you have to make a legal entity once you get payment. Depends upon the business you are and the country where you are registering. As I mentioned yesterday, some of the country crowdfund is not allowed. Some of the country as a crowdfund has a huge task, huge tax you need to pay, and so all the things you need to take care. And another one is basically when some country will not allow you to take money from abroad. So like some country will allow foreign direct investment from another country. So it depends upon the website you are going, the platform you are going. Are they giving good this advice as well? So that you have to make sure that you get paid for it. I mean, you get money without issues on, but you have to legally register the company. The investment comes, you issue them a stake, or your convertible notes, or a safe agreement, or investment agreement. All the things you can do and give them. Okay, that's the way it is. Do that one. Do I get a guidance from ADM? Yes, we do get it. You can talk to our consultant. They will help you on that one. Okay, so Sanil, I believe I answered. You have a counter question? Please ask us. Okay. Ms. Sapna from India, Homemaker. Can we use photos of a celebrities leaders from Google in YouTube videos? It is written images. Images may be subject to copyright. If no, where can we get those pics? Yeah, so see, I told you about it. So copyright issue is a big issue. That's exactly the reason we recommended to go to certain websites. I given a list of websites. So go to those websites and take the copyright-free videos and images and audios and everything. Or you go to Internet Archive, take from there. And we also discussed the Creative Commons. You can also take that. So that's the only option I can think about it. Okay. Mr. Abdul Muttalib from India is a teacher. How will I get money through watching videos on YouTube? Do you explain any other option or site to getting money in online? Okay, so this there are sites who gives you watching a video get paid for it. I did not explain for two reasons. One, the reason number one is I didn't feel it. This is my personal humble opinion. It's very legitimate, watching a video and paying you, a kind of a money. I didn't feel it is very legitimate because, you understand how they pay you because it's someone monetized, so it's making a watch. So the advertiser is not really paying for someone to do this inorganic way watching because they aren't a natural contextual advertisement. The real people who are interested in the target audience. Now they'll be designing a campaign, like how much we put the effort to design a campaign advertiser and putting this one to the people, right? So in this case, the people really wanted to see. So instead of that, some part of the world sitting and keep watching, and you get paid. So I didn't feel it is very legitimate. Number one. Number two, even if you think about this option. It's just not that huge money you make. here then digital. Why you want to be a digital entrepreneur? Digital entrepreneurs should grow, exponentially grow. That's the opportunity we have, right? It's not that is this month you make around $500,000, every month you make that one. That's not the thing we are talking about. We are talking about you start making businesses now. Initial stage may be less money, but over a period of time, you make a 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 on a monthly basis. And then you make a value of your business and exit. So that's what they were talking about. You're watching a YouTube, you spend around 6 to 8 hours. You don't even make maybe a $500 to $1,000 a month. You hardly make a $10, $15 a day. So how much is add up? Around $500 you make, and it's just you have to spend a lot of time and you watch. And it's not very legit enough, first of all. Number two, it is not an interesting thing. A lot of time you're watching, this and maybe irrelevant thing else you have to watch. Because why watch on YouTube? What we are interested in, right? Something we are not interested in, you're forcefully watching to get money. It's not a very interesting thing. So that's the reason I didn't highlighted that point. Honestly, I did not come across any other method. Legitimate. Legitimate. I'm not saying they don't pay. I'm not saying they don't. They don't have a legitimate video. They have it. But when you look at it, it's not a right model. It's my humble opinion, but people may differ. And even if you disagree with me, my second point is more valid for you, because even you're a teacher, you part-time, you develop a website, e-commerce or a mobile application, or you develop a blockchain business, or you develop a blog, or even you develop a affiliate website. All the things which long-term has a more value, and you have potential to grow. And when growth is really good in that. So I prefer you to do that one instead of doing this one. Even you want to do freelancing, there are many methods. You go to a lot of like a freelancer.com or a fiverr.com, like a website. You have a lot of work to do, and you're a part of a constructive thing. So that's what exactly. Okay, so it's an important aspect on it. Okay, so hope you got it. So that one. Okay. So it's very, very important for you to understand this aspect. Very seriously think about this option. I want you to think about this option. I mean, you're ready to spend money. You wanted to make only monthly little money, or you wanted to grow this business. That's very important. Okay. So I personally prefer you to look at the entrepreneurial opportunity and do this one. Okay. Now, next question, Mr. Faisal from here. Okay. A teacher can do online business? Of course, yes. The answer is yes. But you have a government department, so to do an online business, you have restrictions, or you're working with an organization. If they put you in your appointment letter or a contract, you cannot do online business, then there is an issue. That you have to take care. Otherwise, you do. You take out who is a founder of a Byju's app. He's a school teacher, right? So the teacher can do, and teachers are good entrepreneurs, and teacher has a communication skill, and teacher has the basic quality of the most of the entrepreneurs has it. So I believe you're a teacher, this is doing. Even you are looking for a good opportunity, become a trainer with us. So we are looking, if you are teaching capacity, you become a trainer with us and make hourly basis. You can do completely online business. The next month I'm going to introduce, you get a completely trainer websites where you can do whatever we do through adm.q, same activity. You can do webinar, you can do store, you can do download material. There's a method you can charge. There are so many things into that. Okay. Now, the next question is, what kind of a behavioral qualities do an investors look for among entrepreneurs who pitch their ideas to them? Yeah, it's a good question you're asking about. Of course, they do consider many behavioral things. And I have been watching recently one TED talk about an investor. Why she's actually fund a lot of money. She will not pay. So what do you say? So there are strange reasons as well. There are a lot of good reasons. There are strange reasons as well. So one of the best thing you can actually to understand this, how the investors think about it. This is very, very important part. So that is basically, you should know the program called Shark Tank. Shark Tank is basically an investors directly live who's meeting, right? Live meetings happening with investors and the entrepreneurs. And when the entrepreneur leave, the investors talk about them. So you can understand what they're talking about. and you can understand what they valued, what is not valued. That's one of the things. A reality show, I recommend you to go and watch Shark Tank, where you can understand they talk about. Sometimes they themselves talk. I don't think so. She can manage all the thing. I feel she's doing it too much on it, and sometimes there's too much of talk, and sometimes they say, "Oh my God, he's so rude." And sometimes, I seen it for the one when a very good successful business owner came with a net worth of more than $2 million, and investor asked a question. He said, "I disagree," and that time itself he walked out. Okay, so a lot of reasons, personal reason and likeness. Behavioral part is the matter. So Shark Tank, you go and watch various episodes, you really understand how the investors really think about the presentations and how they do it. That's one. Second one, this is what do you call for that as I forgot. I know when you approach them, because people, they feel something of comfort. That comfort has become very important, right? So you need to, they feel comfortable to do business with you. They should feel confident to do business with you. They should feel it is your credibility of that, your integrity, your capacity, your skills, your knowledge, and moreover, reachable. All the things are important for investors to choose with this. But ultimately, they also look for all the things you have. Basically, they want a return on investment. So make sure that is you have a return on investment. Do this one. Okay, it's an important part. Okay, now the next part is now the video which I'm talking about, the TED talk which I'm talking about. Even she said, one time I did not fund a person during the presentation. He burped like there is so he's not fun. Okay, so that may be a reason. So we don't know what other things is the matter to them. So very, very important to keep it on. Okay, I believe I answered the question on that. Okay, now anonymous from USA. Which component of the business plan should I devote the most time in preparing? So it depends upon your business. You have too much of financial aspect included. Of course, the financial aspect there. Your business model is require a lot of technology innovation, so but you have to explain what is the vision and the market and the consumer and the cash flow. So everything, you cannot say which part, but most of the part is equally important, right? So that's the reason I recommend you going through that. Would be that one. Okay. Next question: how should you handle rejection and overcome of objection when presenting to investors who are exhibiting resistance to your idea? It's another question. So when you go, this rejection is a major issue. Yes, I agree. And they'll also have an objection. But if it is a genuine, means sometimes if they feel it is your business is not viable, sometimes they do, but sometimes they're testing you. Objecting it is how do you handle this? So that's also an important aspect. Okay. Yeah. So now, to answer more specifically to your answers, number one is rejection. As an entrepreneur, the first thing you should be mentally ready. How many customers are going to reject you? You think all the customers are going to buy from you? No. So that's a rejection. Now, how many you plan to appoint a distributors and other thing? How are you going to handle that? So it's an important aspect. Okay. Now. Now, sometimes you are recruited, you are employed a person, an employee leave you. It's another rejection. So rejection, you need to be ready to accept. Rejection will be there. So rejection, also entrepreneurs will have mentally prepared, and they have a capacity to accept the rejection. It's something like that. Now, first, my point is something like, for example, when I was selling computers. We give approximately around 30 to 40 quotations and proposals to various companies. Then we get around 5 to 10 companies order. So this 5 to 10 companies order, we make money. And that's how we make small profit. So now one of my staff members asked me, sir, how we only deal with this 5 to 10 companies? Don't give a 30 to 40 people. Whenever we follow up, she's the person who's follow up the companies. Hey, we submitted a proposal. We'd like to know the status. We want us to come back. We want to send you something. So I say, no, we opted some other. Thank you so much. So she was the person who's getting rejected because she said no to come back, and I follow with everyone. All the 7 said no. But then one person said yes. So over a period of time, when you look at 30 to 40 people, we are submitting a proposal every month. That is almost minimum one a day. But every 3 days, we take an order. That means 10 when you get it, you take it every 3 days, we're getting an order. So that 3 days, depends, sometimes maybe 100 computers, sometimes 50 computers. So that's a basic lesson, which is I raised in my mind. So to run your business, you need to get a 75% of rejection, right? 75, that's a physical world where we go and give a proposal. I'm talking to almost 10, 15 years ago. So go and proposal. And a personal discussion happened. Sometimes there will be a request of proposal. We went through and submitted. And there are many people also submitted. Some places I'm rejected, some places other companies rejected. So rejection is a part of entrepreneurship, point number one. And you need to handle the rejection. There is no other option because now you get a rejection from the consumers, as mentioned. You have rejection from the employees, rejection from the investors, rejection from the partners, rejection from the marketing channel you create. So rejection is the part of your life as an entrepreneur. So be ready on that. Okay. Now, even when you come to the online, your rejection percentage is increased. So I used to say for email marketing, right? You remember that email marketing, which I mentioned. 0.3% is your success rate. That means you send to 100 people, not even one reply. If you get 1,000 people, if you send a mail, 3 people respond, which means 997 people which said no to you, so rejected you, right? So that's the point. So you need to understand that point. Now come to overcoming the objection. The objections are, as we discussed, is the 2 types. So objection number one. Objection number one is basically real, genuine objection. They say it won't work. So tell him. Sometime very rude objection. Okay. You go and search in YouTube, Shark Tank, Mark Cuban, on a face to the entrepreneurs, going and saying it is, it's not a business, a scam. On a investor presentation, he said it's not a business, a scam. So they actually, I don't think so. They got that kind of a rejection. That is because the business, he said, this. Of course, it looks like, it sounds like, and it smells like a scam. Even I felt it is, but I didn't study. But I just saw the show, which I liked it. So that's the reason he said it. That's one example. Another example, you go and type it in a YouTube presentation of a Shark Tank for a social media for doctors. So 3 doctors come and presenting. 3 doctors coming and presenting to our investors, billionaires, investors, and those who funded hundreds of companies. Now, a reality show, you can really see that is a fund, many companies. Then, when they presented this idea, another same investor, that Mark Cuban, stood up and said and given a shake hand, the worst presentation ever. Okay, so that's another thing. Okay, so this kind of a thing also we should expect. I think, and most of the investors are nice. They will not blunt on this. They'll later inform you that is, I'm not interested. But sometimes some people object. I don't think so it works. I don't think so it works. And so it does not mean sometimes they're really testing you. What is your answer? Okay, so there's 2 kinds you need to understand. And the genuine objection, you need to handle it. Other one is, let it go. That's a part of our life. Okay. Now, of course, sometimes the people also depends upon the investors. Some people reject the idea, obviously, because people say less than 10% of the people only getting funded in this world to start a business. As I mentioned the other day, if you're a white American man, it's very easy for you to get funded. It's not that easy for an American woman to get funded. Now, if you're a brown skin or a black skin, it's very difficult for you to get funding compared to American. It's not that easy like an American white man. So there's a racism also in that. If you go to Silicon Valley or Wall Street, you want to raise a capital based on where you are from, and your skin color, that also matters. That's the world we are in. That's a reality. When you look into that, the people getting funded. So that's a fact. And you look at the Middle Eastern fund, because the Middle Eastern fund is not invested in huge in Middle Eastern. Middle Eastern fund is always invested in different part of the world, especially in US market, right? So it's also there. So we have to understand that's the way the world works, and we need to look into that one. And you also think you are an investor to whom you'll be more comfortable to invest with. You have your own comfort zone. I have my own comfort zone, right? So everybody has their own comfort zone. So that also we need to respect. So an investor, finally, that is his money. He should decide to whom he should invest, what kind of a risk he should take it. That's the point. Okay. Now the next question is from Ashif. Okay. I have an affiliate website in ebooks. And since my niche is a smart library, can I focus on other smart devices with ebooks? Example, Kindle, Kindle reader, kids Android tablet, etc., notebook, digital notebook. Yes, answer is very much yes. And not only that, you also should look into your become a vendor or an affiliate with the ClickBank, Warrior Plus, JVSU, like a companies as well. So if you have your affiliate website is a smart library, definitely these are the places you should do. You also go to DigitalOcean, like all the digital products we're selling. And there are many websites where you can actually affiliate and do it. Yes, answer is yes, definitely you can do that, Mr. Ashif. Okay. Mr. Jumeen Ahmed, what are the things to consider while choosing our investors? Yeah, selecting our investors, actually, I spend a lot of time at the day when we discussed about it in detail. So you need to select many times. You need to be careful selecting an investor also, because just because they're giving money, you should not take it. As I mentioned the other day, just now, because sometimes we'll be desperate and frustrated from whichever investor we take it. That's not a good idea. So you need to have a look into from whom you are doing, and there are a lot of plus point and negative one, pros and cons, which every investor you can see that one. So you have to make a choice. It's like a marriage. You have to make a choice to whom you have to take this one, and it depends on the business you are in, your comfort zone, because finally you need to be comfortable to do business with them, and in a long term you should do comfort. You should do all the things is important. So which I spent a lot of time when we discussed on a day one on choosing and selecting an investor. And you might have seen in the examples I told you about the reality show in the Shark Tank. Most of the people, entrepreneurs who successfully running a business, and when they went for a growth fund in exchange of 10% or 20% of the equities, they're not blindly taken the investor. The investor said, no, I'll also invest. They had a choice. Sometime, for example, investor A say, I'll pay you that $300,000 in exchange of 15% of the equity. Another person say, no, I pay you $400 or $300,000, but 5% equity. So when you look at the profitable is that one, but then you might have seen entrepreneurs choose other one, because they're also looking for investors' capacities, investors' strength, and investor contribution as well. So that's where people take a decision. That's one of the things. I also seen on the spot, they make a mix and match. They ask, okay, you're ready to pay 10%, you're ready to pay 200,000 for a 10% equity. So can you split each other? Both two investors are ready. They ask them, hey, can you take 5% and pay 100,000? Can you come on board like that? So that's also people take a decision. So that is so very, very important for you to choose if you are desperate and very badly need money. Taking it from everyone is not a good idea. You need to think about all the comfort zone, long-term terminologies, communication aspects, and their background, their powerful, their profiles, everything you need to consider for that. Okay, yeah. Anonymous from India. How do you keep the YouTube channel behind the paywall? Oh, okay. This is on a YouTube channel we discussed with that. This is paywall. Keeping behind the paywall is one of the way of revenue making, which we mentioned to you. That's what I do. So how the technically you're asking it is, or strategically, both way I'll tell you. Technically, you need a landing page to keep in a paywall. So make a landing page. You have to play the YouTube channel there, and so that's a very simple process. But you need a landing page. So like this you watch on a landing page, right? That's right. And you need a paywall. This is basically go to a website, make a login, and then they'll go to channel part. Okay, so it's how big or how strong you wanted to have it there. It depends upon you have to set up. Then there are a few tools and plugins you have to use it for everything to work on it. It's very simple. It's not a big like ADM.K. We're using the same method. I think that's the reason you asked you about the paywall, right? So live we made it free, but only downloadable things or a recorded one we only give to the people. So that put a paywall that way. Even we wanted to have a instead of giving free the 100 days of program, you want to charge and pay, stream the unique pay and go. There are many companies do that way. So you can do a pay YouTube. So that's one of the best thing, and to make money. And plus, as you know, YouTube is, comparatively all other infra, like a Zoom or any other company, you have a much cheaper, especially if you're planning to do large scale. And especially planning to do free, it's a much cheaper, and plus much more facilities, and people easy to watch, and you have more facilities, and so much of things is there. So even if you're going for a paywall, this is one of the best things you can do add on it. Okay, so I believe I answered that question part. Okay, so this concludes the questions which we received. Now I'll take the question from the chat. So now any more questions you wanted to ask me? So you can type there. I'll take the answer from the chat. Another 20 minutes we have time now approximately. You may ask now, please. Now, what are the questions? Any questions, please ask me. I think you want to copy paste and do. I think some of the questions actually I've seen. So many hi and greetings. So I'm finding it difficult. Which the platform is the best one to do e-commerce? It's a platform, depends on what kind of a business you are looking to start off and what scale you want it. So there are a lot of platforms in the market, major SaaS model, and there are other methods as well. It depends upon types of types of your business model. That's more important. Number of products, the market you are catering to, and facilities you wanted. Like for example, most of the time people take as a SaaS. That's known as Shopify, and if Shopify is one of the platforms. But if you ask me, Shopify Plus is much more than the Shopify. So especially if you are running an existing businesses and you want to go online, I recommend Shopify Plus to go. Now, you wanted to use even WordPress, you can use it. You can also have it in there is a Magento, you can use it another method. So it depends upon what kind of business, what your kind of skill you have, that makes the major different forward. Okay, yeah. Mr. Javed, I met a lot of great people in ADM. When I asked about them, I knew that they left. Why? Okay, glad that you met a lot of great people, and I'm not sure to whom you are referring to. I think when our team, Norman, so recently, maybe a couple of things actually left. It depends upon they moved on their life, and they got a job or something like that. That's what you meant as an internal staff members, or you are talking about city. I'm not sure which one it is. Okay, you talk to our HR person or the cities, or they will answer you. I know what exactly. Of course, as an ongoing company, the employees come for 1 year, 2 years and go, and that is usually happen. Okay, now we are, when you look at it as before a company incorporated and start working in ADM, the team who's joined is still there with us. They're not left. The team before even in company incorporating was there with us, and still they're working okay with us. Okay, it's not there. Okay, so now you're talking about maybe somebody worked on a freelance basis, or someone joined for an internship, or someone got a job, maybe a good job somewhere, another company, or they completed their 1 year time. There are many reasons people leave the organization. We don't know particularly. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions you have? So extra payment only for renewal of a domain and hosting. It's not just a domain and hosting alone, it's a platform as well. Platform facility, you have a garage facility, you have a logistic. I believe you're asking. You are a garage, all the facility comes in, and it is basically, the idea is basically not to charge you. It is actually to a minimum level of business, like an Amazon doing. Same method, we also follow that one. Okay. Morris coin also same like a Bitcoin. I'm not sure. I don't have any idea about Morris coin. Okay. Next is I was asking the same. Okay. OSM seems like a really easy investment opportunity at the moment. Yes, you've taken a opportunity now is a great. Now I just want to tell you yesterday, we are closing that 20% offer is ending on a Saturday. That means Saturday onwards you have to pay that the ADM website flipping. There is charges coming in. So I was trying to negotiate with all the people already bought the websites earlier in February and March and April. Majorly people did in March and April. February we announced, March and April. The people who are March and April who invested, they're looking for a 4 times. I like their confidence on, and they want more. But actually, people are ready to pay. Maybe those who paid, for example, 1,000 Qatari riyal, they're ready to pay 1,600, 2,000, 3,000 Qatari riyal. But they know the market price is 4,000 going to increase. One way I'm happy because they're making more money. But one way I was thinking, mentors or the team should have got a much more better deal. Okay, so even before we take off, you can see there is a say. So you think about the website started working and making money and everything is ready. So completely different pricing. So now it's a fantastic anyway. Now you even the valuation, if you don't make a traction, it'll increase on it. Okay. So there is a comment. Actually, I'm not answering it. As you want to answer it, they're left because they didn't get their rights in ADM. Unfortunately, I'm not sure. 2MEM is a completely absurd. There is no such case. I'm the CEO. I know I personally work with everyone, and I'm accessible to them. Absolutely no. I don't know. We're having asked them to reach out to us, and if there's any concern, we'll address. And absolutely, that's a completely absurd and completely wrong accusation on that one. And the chat place is not that to do, and I don't know how they hired you as an advocate. Ask them to if anybody has asked them to come and talk to us. Reach out to us. Not in the webinar time, people discussing, especially in a Q&A session. I don't know why you're representing them as their advocate. Okay. You received a warning about. I would try continue. This is actually I'm leaving. Okay, this I'm making last. Is about does not know anything about ADM. See ADM. I don't know. You're in Qatar or you're from outside. So everything is about us. Very transparent. We put an entire thing on our website is on. We are publicly doing every activity. And you can check out the founders of this company online. You can find out the background of this company and registration of the company. And the people working, over 100 people are working as mentors and CTE now in the company. Check it out. And someone is talking some nonsense. We cannot stand for it. So I'm not commenting on this one. Okay, this is not so actually we are putting it. This is not an HR issue. We're talking about investment opportunity and funding and business plan is the question and answer part. If you are acting as a lawyer, take that just separately, and I'm not going to answer it. And even if they, you can understand their value if they hired you as to advocate this one here, right? Yeah. Okay. Approximate cost of setup an e-commerce, affiliate marketing, niche store, and OSM businesses. Okay. Now, when you look at it as approximate cost, e-commerce, you go to depends on the platform. You have 3 costs. One is a platform cost, initial product cost, and your setup cost. It is vary that depends upon the business you're starting with. One is businesses which you're talking about, like let's say you're doing maybe a sourcing locally or a sourcing from maybe from manufacturer. So that's one of the major costs. Platform is not that expensive like earlier. You can take a SaaS platform, it's cost you maybe $300, $400 or the minimum platform if you want to. But you are setting up a garage, setting up a logistic, setting up the things. So it's a huge cost. Anyway, this is I'm covering in detail on Saturday. Please attend that one so you understand. So affiliate marketing, you take it now as a fantastic opportunity. You have a great opportunity. As you know, two options. One is we ourselves as a free offer. You upgrade as a premium member, you get a free. Second one is you can flip it from ADM website flipping, or go to flipper.com. Also, you get a flippable one. Okay. Niche store prices, you can see the price there, $5,500 on what's that. But the special offer price is going on up to 700 store as a special offer. You can take that as well. Contact the city for that. I want to ask this program, which is supposed to be completely free, but anything asked of my mentor that says I have to pay for it, it upgrade, it normal. Okay, so the program, what is the free thing? The 100 hours of a minute every day, 100 minutes of a program for next entire 100 days is absolutely free. There is no charge for it. Then every day, 30 minutes a mentor spent with you for your mentoring, absolutely free for it. Then you wanted to meet a consultant or a trainer once in a week, there is a 30 minutes time, absolutely free offer. That is free. You want to have a notes to download, absolutely free. There is no cost. What is the cost you need to pay? You want to watch a recorded one, which has a cost, which we charge, which are only we give to the people who upgrade as a premium member. We call them a premium mentors. Okay. Or anyone wanted to set up a website for you, like an affiliate website, then you have to pay. Otherwise, there is no charge. If mentoring is absolutely free. Mentoring, even though to mentors we pay, so we need to do that one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think I hope it was clear. I don't know. They are asking you money for a mentoring. Then please tell us. You don't have to pay mentoring. So if you're a premium mentor, you get a 1 hour free. If you have to pay 30 minutes, you don't have to pay. We are paying to the mentors, so you don't have to pay to the mentors. Okay, that's absolutely free for it. But if you ask for a website, this is charge. You want us to set up a YouTube channel for you, there's a charge for that. Okay. Register on common in business platform. Yes. Okay. You can access webinar for totally free. Yes, webinar is absolutely free. There is no charges for it. I asked for more information. He responded this kind of information just for paid one. I don't know what kind of a question you asked. This question answer also absolutely free. Even you're asking the question is here, it's a free. Only the mastermind we have only reserved for a premium members. It's something like that. You're going in a executive class and a business class. So you don't expect a business class in the flight, what the service you're getting in the economic class, right? So you should know what to expect. So in a business class, we have a mastermind group, and they have an addition. Instead of 30 minutes, they have 1 hour session. They get an additional facility like a website. They get additional support. They get additional support from this. And of course, in the championship time, of course, the premium India has a lot of additional benefits. Like a business class people has an additional, you have a launch facility in the airport. Like there's so many facility a business class people get. That's a premium in this. That's exactly the reason it's called a premium. So you wanted that, you have to be upgraded. If you don't want, it's absolutely free. But as I told you, it's 100 minutes is free. Your mentoring is free. Your notes are downloadable, is free. And your consultant meeting is every week is absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything on it. Okay. Okay, that's okay. Business plan document template, you can go majorly, which I recommend is bplans.com. And there is one more slide called Slide Bean. Actually, there's also a good templates you can download from there. Okay. PayPal or a paywall? No, the question was about paywall. What is a paywall? Basically, to access, they need to pay the money and access. It's called paywall. That's exactly the question. That is one of the business idea which we discussed about. That one. Okay. Is web mining is halal or haram? Which is today morning also in the mentors meeting we discussed. So actually, I cannot comment on that because I'm not qualified. You need to go through the scriptures and methods. One thing which I did it is you go to our channel. You can see one YouTube video of 2 scholars. I kept it there. Which is which you go through. So if you are okay with that one, it's up to you. Because as I mentioned to you, it is majority of the scholars which I personally, personally means which I follow, which they understand both. Both this kind of technology as well as a religion. They said absolutely no. So it's a halal that most of the things, including if I don't know, I can mention the names here. I can mention the organization name, European Fiqh Council. European Fiqh Council is headed by Yusuf Karlawi of Qatar, and American Fiqh Council, the member of that, Dr. Yasir Kali. He has a doctorate from Medina University. He also doctorate from Yale. Okay, so he's also these are the things which actually they did it, and majority of the countries, and even there is a I called what is that iDirham something. There is a completely on a Islamic perspective. Also, there is one more thing is coming in. So they're already using a crypto. They're already using a mining. And majority of the people say, majority means 99.999% of the scholars which I know, they actually saying it's completely halal. Theoretically, when you say everything is halal except haram, right? So you need to find out what is the reason for haram. There is no reason people can make out. People are just comparing it as so many other things which they don't understand. According to me, my humble opinion, they are great scholars, but they have a limited understanding of the blockchain. So they need to learn and change the opinion in future. That's what I personally believe. Okay, so this is my opinion. I did a research, it was not 1 or 2 years, since 2014, which I have been doing it is. And as you know, I did a training in the halal, when I included when the blockchain training last time, the halal chain. All the things going to be in a blockchain and Islamic stuff also going. So it's but actually personally, if you ask me, so I cannot tell what is halal, so I can only quote others the same. Okay. Can you name a few ways to get a Qatari investor in Qatar? Yeah, there are so many. Go to Meetup. There are a lot of meetups groups which are investors. There are a lot of investors meet. They have Qatari, what is that? Doha Angels is another option you can go. Of course, you want to go larger. There are a lot of financial corporations and equity companies, funding companies, incubation centers. Cubic is another example because we did a workshop also with them earlier with an incubation centers. So all the things you can have. Okay. Thomas Alukalisa, what the cost of involved in a setup in e-commerce affiliate marketing niche or something? So I think I answer that. If I am using a free web hosting, do that company ask for share when I flip the website? Depends on the company's terminologies. Company's terms and conditions which you choose. And you need to check with that, is it transferable? If it transfers, there is charges or not. So before you're taking, make sure that is you have that. Okay. What are the best POS system for small business in 2020? POS system, I'm not sure what you meant. Can you just point of sale, which is that meant? I'm not sure. Can you just elaborate, Mr. Mohammed Hassan, that question? What is the special offer? Oh, you're referring to the OSM. The special offer is when you go to onlineshoppingmall.qa, the price which you're seeing, it's actually, there's a specialty, there is an offer. In addition to that, first 700 stores has a special offer, which is now, instead of you're paying $5,500 you need to pay only 5,000 Qatari Riyal. So that's a huge difference. So you can take that one today, next 100 store, then you can have more stock. Okay. Shidal Shan says some comment on your response on it. And yeah, okay. So I am a freelancer and affiliate asking my tax information was I had to give. Yes, answer is most of the companies, affiliate companies, as I mentioned, sometimes they'll ask you your KYC, know your customers' details. Sometimes they will, they will ask you your passport copy or a tax. So you need to give. Some companies even ask you your check, cancel the check to make sure that is your, this is in your, to make sure that it's your bank is belongs to you. I mean, the bank account is belongs to you. So these are the details you need to provide them to give you an affiliate program. So some cases they don't give you if you don't have this. That's the reason, as I mentioned, you need to have this one. Some countries they'll ask you tax. Some country there is an option. If you don't have it, you can receive through PayPal. That's also one option. Some country without that. Some companies for some countries. Some companies for some countries because they have to follow the rules. So you need to pay. Some countries, for example, tax TDS, the tax deduct at source is that then you have to give them your tax number. So it's also very important for them this one. Okay. Can we hold a domain ownership without hosting, and it is also without anyone other to buy and host it? Yeah, you can hold here. You say domain ownership is separately. Once you buy a domain, then you host somewhere, right? And also without any other to buy and host. So of course, you can, once you register your domain, it's your name. You don't have to to host it for your ownership. The moment you register, while registering, you're filling up the form, they are technical contact, your name contacts in your name. So if it is that's your name, you are the owner, like your document, like you buy a property, the property is in your name. So that is something called when you go to Ministry of Justice or a registration department, you get a stamp paper document. So that makes you the owner of the property, right? Similarly, when you register online, there is a ICANN information. So when you put your administrative contact and technical name, and it will be in your name. How do you check this one? Go to website like a woo.ease. You can try to, or you go to AWM Domains, our website, you can go who is there, then you can find out who's the owner. So that's the person's owner. Of course, you can have details over there. So that's enough for your ownership. Not necessary you have to host. Now you wanted to sell it off this one, go to a site like a sedo.com, SCDO.com, which we discussed. There you don't have to host a website, and majority of the people are flip the domains, or they sell it by register and sell it as, for a value later part. Most of them, 99% of the people are not hosting their website, because hosting a website there's an additional cost, additional revenue. So they're not necessary. Also, not only the cost, a lot of work also to be done. So as I mentioned in the Vegas, every year there is a conference on a domain flipping, and the qualification of that you need to have 1,000 domains or 3,000 domains. So 3,000 domains, you feel it, they'll have a flipping? No. So you need to flip it also. You can actually register and go to what do you call that? A domain flipping site like a Sada.com or a Flippa.com or MBAFlipers.com, FEInternational.com, BusinessBrokerage.com, ADMWebsiteFlipping.com. All these places you can go and make this website as a premium domain and sell it, not necessarily website to be hosted. Okay, this is a completely two different things. You are planning to website flipping, then you have a domain and host it, because you have to, URL should be a domain, right? Then that's where you get our money. So this is what is exactly I feel it is. That's a method you should do, because you can raise it and list out the companies and you get it. Okay. So I think with this question will end the session. Okay. Thank you so much for asking, especially those who sent the question. I recommend you all of you to sending a question instead of the chat. Next week, we have a very, very important and interesting week. We are going to have an e-commerce mastery. So a lot of business model which we are going to discuss about it within the e-commerce platform, and we are also going to discuss what the latest features came out of the e-commerce platforms and new business model, including drop shipping and drop servicing. We are going to discuss. We are also going to discuss about the omni-channel, multi-channel, social channel, all the things we are going to discuss in detail about these 3-4 days. So I'm looking forward all of you to participate in a great level. And to show, if you especially are planning to start your own business, next week become very, very important. And of course, online shopping models also we are explaining after the end of that session. And it's for you to make a sense to understand the importance of the online shopping model if you really understand the entire e-commerce mastery part. Okay, so I'm make it free. The next available forum. I make sure that next week you attend the most important program, actually 40th day. To actually 50th day. So that's 10 days is a very, very important, and a lot of offers of short period. So if you miss it maybe some number of things only for 5 people, only for 10 people, only for 48 hours. Like there are many offers is going to come. So never miss the opportunity and get it done. And after 50 days, we'll not have much offer, because we are completely focusing on championship. Okay, so thanks, thank you everyone, and those who are Prim members, please join us in the mastermind groups another couple of minutes from now. And those who are in the Middle East, so have a wonderful weekend, and other part of the world, we'll see you on a Saturday. And I'm looking forward to a great session in the next week. And thank you so much, all of you, for participating in the Q&A session. And especially the special thanks to the people who sent the questions in advance. And we really appreciate that. If you have a counter question, please send to there next week. Definitely we'll address on it. Okay. Thank you so much.